So, my case for obstacle avoidance, coming right up. What's up, all you Drone Man X? Welcome back to Drone Logic for your drone and tech related info from my point of view. So when it comes down to technology, especially the technology inside of these drones, inside of drones, I'm kind of like Rick Smith. I really love the tech. I really love to see the tech advance and see where it goes. Because I remember I wasn't in the hobby then, but when I look at where DJI went from the first Phantom with no camera on it, to the Phantom 4 Pro 2.0, and you look at how the tech has advanced in that short period of time, and you're like, man. And we see this happening against all of their drones. The technology is just constantly going forward, and obstacle avoidance is one of those examples. Now, I'm a huge fan of that tech. Some people will say that it's for inexperienced pilots, newbies. And you can say that new pilots are probably going to rely on it more often than not. And there will be times when you have to turn obstacle avoidance off. I've had to do it several times before, especially when you're flying indoors. You really will have to turn it off. But beyond that, I think obstacle avoidance is a great technology, and I love to see the advancement. Now we're seeing drones with 360-degree awareness. I think the Mavic 2 was the first drone to have it, and now we see the Evo 2 took that and improved upon it. But I just think that obstacle avoidance is great tech, and I have to say that it saved me and my drone, my Mavic 2, once. And this is when I was doing that drone-based mission in the city. And as a drone pilot, normally when you get 100 feet in the air, 200 feet in the air, you're pretty much well above any structures out there. Very rarely will there be anything in your way at that height. But in the city, when you're around buildings that are 4, 5, 6, 700 feet, well, there's always going to be obstacles in the way. There's no way that you can fly above it. I mean, where you can fly higher, as long as you're within 400 feet of the structure and not within airspace. Within controlled airspace. But that's definitely a new experience for me, and a new experience for most people, having to fly around structures. Well, anyway, I was getting my shots, lining up the shots, and trying to complete the mission. And to get shots, it would have been easier for me to fly around a building than to come in front of it. So I decided to fly around a building behind it to line up the shots that I need to get. And when I got behind the building, the drone disconnected, and I'm like, oh damn! In the city like this with all these buildings, so I headed back to the home point, which I was about maybe 300 or 400 feet away from the home point. So I'm headed back, and I turned the corner, and as I was approaching the home point, it reestablished connection. And basically, we know when it comes down, when the drone DJI drones disconnect, and which is a standard procedure pretty much for most drones. When they could disconnect from the controller, they immediately go to return home. And in which that case, it'll fly directly back straight, the straightest point back to the home point. But in this case, my Mavic 2 Pro, what I'm assuming was coming back home and detected the building. Once it did that, it went into secondary return to home protocols, and that is just follow the path that they got there. And that's what it was doing when I reconnected with the drone. And after I did that, I just simply finished and went back and finished completing the mission. But what if it wouldn't have had obstacle avoidance to notice the building? It would have just crashed right into the building, and I would have lost my drone. What if that would have been a Mini 2 or a Mini? What protocols I've never owned any of the minis, but when they go to return home, do they fly directly back to the home base, or do they follow the path to get there? Because neither of these drones have obstacle avoidance. But if they were to just return back at home point, or any drone without obstacle avoidance that does this, it would smash right into the building, and I would have been out of a drone. So that's why I think that obstacle avoidance is so great. It's a great tech. and why I'm so interested in seeing the tech continue to improve, and not just obstacle avoidance, but all the tech. But man, I'm a huge fan of obstacle avoidance, and that right there pretty much saved me a drone. So again, I'm a huge fan of it, and I would love to hear arguments that people have against. And I know, again, like as I said, you will have to turn obstacle volumes off at some times, but just knowing that you have that tech there, to me, it's just reassuring, and it's just DJI, and really the other drone makers out there improving the safety, and that's what they've always done. So I'm 100% for obstacle avoidance. Everybody have their own opinion. That's just me. Anyway, y'all, that's my drone logic for the day. And as always, until next time.